Good morning, RedHawk Nation. This is Dustin Tokarski, and you're watching the R360 News.
Good morning, R360 RedHawks Nation, and welcome to your R360 morning announcements. I'm your host, Rhea Platt.
And I'm Neve Schomburg. Welcome to Friday, February 26th, is day 6 on the school calendar.
Grades 7 and 8, it's basketball for your intramurals today.
Today marks the final day of reading month, and we have your next glow-in-the-dark bookmark winner coming your way this morning. Congratulations to Jamie and Banman from grade 3-4A.
And we have another staff member favorite book to share with you.
This book series is called The Plantagenet and the Tudor, written by Philippa Gregory.
They are a great mix of historical accuracy and fiction.
The characters come to life and the history is told from the female perspective.
Can you guess which staff member loved this book?
If you guessed grade 5 teacher Mrs. Sabrin, you are correct.
And February is also Black History Month, and we have your final video featuring a prominent Canadian to share with you this morning.
Let's take a look at Julie Black, who is a Canadian R&B singer and songwriter.
Good morning, Rose North School. I'm Taniola Adinton, class of 2024, and this is your Black History Month feature for today.
Growing up in Canada and watching Canadian television, I didn't see anybody that looked like me. You know, I was 5'10", at 10 years old, with a size 10 shoe. And I went through a lot of challenges, right up to college, in fact. But I heard voices that I loved. I knew that was my purpose, to at least become one of the faces that other little boys and girls that look like me could say, hey, she's from Toronto, she's from Canada. You know, she's a woman of color. She's got the same talent that I do. I can do it as well. I've been in this business for 20 years. I started really young. You have to be ahead and be uniquely yourself and have an identity that is quite like no one else and be able to trust that. So many people tried to have me sing a certain style when I was coming up. This is me. My voice is raspy. I have a big, bold, powerful voice. I couldn't do the fluffy Mariah Carey. I love Mariah Carey, but that wasn't me. But I am most excited about empowering women. We have so much influence, more than we realize. My name is Julie Black, and I believe women in music is Canada.
Thank you, Tenny. Julie Black is also known as Canadian's Queen of R&B. Make sure to remember her name and stay tuned to the news next week for a class activity around all of the important Black Canadians that we learned about this month.
And it's time for the return of the RedHawks of the Week.
Our RedHawk of the Week today is Mary Pascali from grade 4.
Mary was nominated for the RedHawk of the Week by her teacher for being a very kind-hearted and a hardworking student.
She is a positive role model for others in the classroom, in the hallways, and outside at recess.
Mary's teacher said having her in the classroom is like sunshine on a rainy day.
Way to go, Mary!
And before we sign off the news this morning, we have a very happy birthday wish going out to Justin Bueller for tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Justin!
Those are all your announcements for today. Make sure to tune in on Monday when the name of that fish contest will be reviewed.
But wait! You asked for it, so you got it. Backed by popular demand is another story from the Cabinet of Curiosities. Enjoy!
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Our world is full of the unexplainable. And if history is an open book, all of these amazing tales are right there on display, just waiting for us to explore. Welcome to the Cabinet of Curiosities. In a superhero's origin story, there's always a moment when they realize their true calling. Peter Parker learns that his spider powers come with great responsibility after his uncle is murdered. The death of Bruce Wayne's parents inspires him to don a cape and cowl and fight crime in Gotham City. And Superman understands that he is supposed to use his gifts in order to stop the kinds of threats plaguing his beloved metropolis. And then there's Isaac. Isaac's calling came from something much less super, but still quite important. Isaac worked at New York City's Louis Charlock and Company Bank in 1900. He came and went as he pleased, and his colleagues didn't mind. As they handled withdrawals and deposits, Isaac would often find a comfortable spot somewhere to watch the people coming and going throughout the day. On November 14th, Isaac noticed something odd. Someone he didn't recognize entered the bank. They were disheveled, and the bank must have been busy because no one saw them slip by customers and clerks as they made their way around toward the safe. But Isaac noticed. He started moving toward them when Max Lubiner, another teller, noticed the interloper at his feet. Startled, he reached down to stop them, but was attacked. That's when Isaac leapt into action. He screamed at the would-be thief while others picked up sticks and other weapons with which to arm themselves. They approached slowly, trying to lure him away from the safe, but it didn't work. Isaac went after them, throwing punches and yelling. As the two fought, they rolled around on top of the bankers' desks, kicking up money and scattering coins all over the floor. Customers hid in the corners of the building while the fight ensued. Lubiner insisted the doors be locked to trap the two fighters inside until the authorities arrived. However, his instructions startled both the bankers and the customers alike, sending everyone into a panic over what they thought was a robbery in progress. They didn't understand it was only just a fight. Isaac, a burly fellow not easily pinned down, chased the suspect all over the bank as spectators outside caught sight of the commotion. With their hands cupped around their eyes to see through the bank's windows, they watched as the two tussled. After several minutes, the thief, cash in hand, managed to break free from Isaac's grasp and dashed for an open window at the back of the bank. He jumped up and out, but his getaway was short-lived. A tall fence blocked off the area behind the bank on all sides, preventing them from escaping with the money. Instead, they hopped into an empty barrel and hoped that no one would find them. Meanwhile, the police were notified of the attempted robbery, and the officer on duty, Ajax Whitman, hurried over to the bank. He demanded the doors be unlocked so that he could apprehend the suspect, who had eluded the clerks out back and ran once again into the bank. As soon as the doors were opened, the thief ran out into the street, Lubiner and the other employees yelling after him. But nobody pursued them. Sure, the bank had gotten its money back, but there was no point in arresting the suspect. They hadn't tried to break in, nor had they really stolen any money. They hadn't passed a teller a note saying to fill a bag with cash in the drawer either. The would-be thief had simply settled in beside the safe and got to work on a very relaxing nap. The thief wasn't really a thief. It was a cat, one that had gotten accustomed to living on the street and going where it pleased. When it had tried to escape, a few bills had gotten stuck to its paws, but they were quickly recovered. And Isaac? He wasn't officially a bank employee either. He was known as Isaac the well-fed bank cat, who spent his time rubbing against the teller's legs and sleeping around the building. It seems that the street cat had intruded on Isaac's home turf, turning Isaac into a local hero. He hadn't stopped a supervillain or prevented the end of the world, but he'd made sure no one else was taking a cat nap in the bank on his watch. After all, that was his job.